Welcome back to our Week 10 NFL betting show, where we go through and give you our top 3 bets, including our locks of the week. We're coming off of an 8-4 week on our total picks, and then 3-1 on our locks. So we're just continuing the great record. We're up to 58-36-2 on the year, and 20-11-1 on our locks. Just an absolute amazing streak we're on here,
boys.
So we're gonna keep it going.
We beat
Vegas.
We beat Vegas. We figured.
Oh yeah, we've
except for
Nick. For yourself, I've gotten smacked.
Nick started
so hot.
Yeah, he's regressing right now, but he's just got to get back on the train here.
I got back in the lab and started putting in the work again.
Good.
We're bounce back weeks upon us.
We haven't had a full undefeated weekend yet.
I know.
We almost did, except for PB.
That was impressive.
Week 3, we
that
almost
was
had
early
it.
on.
PB messed it.
All right, who wants to start us off with their first pick?
I don't feel like yelling at you right away, so I'll start here first. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons going to the Arizona Cardinals. Falcons are 1.5 point favorites on the road against a team that's obviously trying to lose games. Kyler Murray, he's probably going to be activated this week. I mean, I don't know why they're doing that. It makes zero sense to me. Because maybe they're trying to showcase his talent still so that they can trade him off. Because they're definitely not holding on to him. Maybe they think that, if he has a good year, they'll be like, okay, we go get Marvin Harrison Jr. But he's your franchise guy coming off serious injury. Your team's abysmal. You've sold off everyone basically. And you're coming into this season into this game just super deflated. Yes, Atlanta Falcons don't know how to use their players on their team. I don't know how Artie Smith still has a job with them taking Bijan Robinson as, the top running back in the draft and not using him on the goal line. You're running jet sweeps to Jonnu Smith Jr. or Jonnu Smith, whatever his name is. And you're not scoring points. You play in one of the worst divisions in the league and you have to win games and you're not using your best players. I think Tyler Heineke gives him a better chance of winning than Ritter does. He didn't look that great last week, but I think on the road here, Atlanta's defense against Arizona's putrid offense, I think Atlanta comes away with a victory here and gets back on track. So give me Atlanta -1.5.
Corey, that's a great bet. Something you didn't touch on, which is well known in the industry, is the Kyler Murray Call of Duty stats. So anytime a new Call of Duty is released or double XP weekend is upon us, his stats significantly drop, but his team's win percentage also absolutely plummets. So we'll just play some recency bias here back to 2021. For the last time he was playing. Before COD, his team was 7-1. After COD came out, 2-4. Dust. His personal stats also pretty much get cut in half as far as yards and TDs. So, you mix that in with a game back and not looking good for Mr. Murray.
If only he loved Madden. If only he loved Madden as much as he loves COD. Maybe he'd be shredding defenses right now.
Yeah, he could learn to read a defense, maybe. I don't know.
No.
All right. I'll go. You want to go next?
Go ahead. You go ahead. No.
All right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Corey here. So we have the Patriots and Colts traveling over to Frankfurt. And I'm taking the Patriots. It's Frankfurt, right? Or is it somewhere else?
It is. You have to get the whole pick in your German accent, though. The whole thing.
Yeah. Where's your Lederhosens?
We're going Patriots +2. The Colts have had a pretty easy strength of schedule throughout the year, whereas the Patriots have just faced some of the best teams or the best defenses all year. So the Colts, only teams they've beaten the Panthers, the Texans, which some people could say, the Texans are a good team. I'm still not there yet. and the Ravens, which that was their most impressive win. But other than that, they've lost to some not so great teams, and
Saints.
The Patriots have played the Dolphins, Bills, Saints, Cowboys, Jets, Dolphins, Eagles. So either just some of the best offenses or some of the best defenses. A lot of the best defenses they've played. Yes, they just lost to Washington, but it was a close game. It was 3 points. And so I'm just going to take the points here against two bad football teams, and with the Patriots +2.
I mean, did you see the rumors coming out today that if Bill Belichick flies home from Germany with a 2-7 record, that he's fired?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing, Josh Downs is also injured. I think that's a pretty massive loss for him.
First of all, he came into last week questionable and he played like 2 downs. He probably shouldn't even been out on the field.
I think they tried out Sammy Watkins. I mean, you're not doing that. Like I think he's not playing this game, and you have Michael Pittman, and we know Bill Belichick. One of the best things he does is he takes away your like number one weapon. Now, some people might argue that's Taylor, but I mean, I think he's gonna focus on taking Pittman out and just try to let the Colts beat him. Maybe just with the run game. I don't know. I just think it's gonna be a lower scoring game, and one that the Patriots either win or it's a really close game and they cover.
I think they match up well against them too. Like they're probably better in the run right now. Patriots defense.
Right. So it's like I think they're just going to take Pittman out, and then it's just like, I don't know what the Colts are going to do. So
score points like we do every single game.
Yeah. Good luck this
only
week.
Team to score 20 points every single game.
Yeah. Good luck against this Patriots team. And then you'll see the Colts should not be I mean, the Patriots aren't good, the Colts aren't good. Take the points. That's simple as that.
All right. Well, on to my pick, which is against a team who hasn't scored more than 20 points in 6 straight weeks. We are taking the Steelers -3 at home against the Packers. Now, the Steelers sitting at 5-3. The entire AFC North is currently making the playoffs, and I don't think the Steelers are going to end up making the playoffs. I don't think they're as good as their 5-3 record, but the Packers stink. Jordan Love stinks. He fooled us all with that week 1 win against the Bears. And as I mentioned, they haven't put up 21 or more points in 6 straight games. They were up 10-3 with like 9 minutes left against the Rams, against a pretty bad defense and a backup quarterback. Christian Watson got banged up in that game. I just see the Steelers defense absolutely feasting at home in Acrisure Stadium. The Packers are they're so bad. And they were kind of like the Rams, where they came out week 1, right? The Rams played the Seahawks. They were like, oh yeah, they gave the Seahawks a game. The Rams might actually be something. No, the Rams stink. Packers did the same thing against the Bears. Packers stink. Give me the Steelers -3 at home. Interesting, or you like it?
I don't know. I mean, it's such a hard game to bet on. I mean, that's the only reason
the Packers a lot this year.
I have.
I mean, if you factor in home field advantage, they're basically saying this game is like -1.5, almost.
Yeah.
Outcome.
No,
and
yeah.
The Packers are not nearly as good as the Steelers. Like, I don't think the Steelers are great by any means, but Lambeau ain't it.
No, it ain't.
You gotta pick on them while they're down. I understand, Alex. Bitter rivalry for you there. All right, I'm going to jump into my pick here. We're taking the 49ers -3. So the Jags have been playing all over the world at this point, and have accumulated 5 straight wins. And I think this is a shut-up game for them, mainly. The 49ers obviously have some struggles on offense, missing Debo and Trent Williams. Brock Purdy has not looked like the same MVP caliber quarterback as he was playing at the beginning of the year. So I think the bye week helps them. I love Shanahan off of the bye. And I think they don't necessarily struggle against a Jaguars team with, a weaker offensive line. I think last year there was not a defensive lineman on the Jags that had over 3 sacks in the entire season. They didn't really add anyone this year, and Trayvon Walker hasn't totally panned out to what a number 1 pick should have so far. So they're definitely built on defense to defend the pass. I don't think, Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk are going to flourish in this game, but they're going to get beat in the run game and lose in the trenches to a really strong 49ers team who has also added Chase Young to the mix. So I'm excited to see what that brings. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be under a lot of heat, and I think Chase Young is probably one of the better run stopping edge guys out in the league right now. So hopefully he could slow down ETN, who's been on absolute fire.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Nick. Thought you're trying to bring your record back up.
The Jags are hot. I just think 6 games against the 49ers it's just like,
I think Trayvon Walker's been better than you said he is, but
no, he's good. He's just not, he's not Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson, one of these young guys. So to me, he's losing that race. Not to say he's not good. He's just not elite yet.
Let's go to our second picks.
Moving over to pick number dos, I'm taking the Chargers and Lions over the 48.5. The thing with both the teams, I think maybe the Chargers maybe got back on track last night. Obviously, they put Josh Palmer onto IR, so their receiving core looks a little bit slim at this point in time. Quentin Johnson has just not been able to break into that offense, which is crazy to think about because he has so much talent. I don't know if it's the scheme that Brandon Staley's running or if he just can't figure out the NFL quite yet. He is a rookie, so you can't really, chalk it up. But when you take, a receiver in the first round, typically they do make pretty good splashes right away. And then obviously the Lions, their offense is just, it is on another level. They might be getting Montgomery back this week. Is that correct in me saying that?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Okay. So not only do you have Montgomery, but now you've seen what, Josh Gibbs is doing. Like, hey, Jahmyr Gibbs. This is what happens when you use a number 1 running back. The Falcons should probably take, notes here and figure out, hey, we used a high draft pick. I think now Gibbs is going to be more involved in the offense. I think Montgomery maybe gets kind of into that role. He went for the, he'll kind of slide back into the role of like what Jamal Williams was last year for the Lions, but basically just use strictly on the goal line. And Gibbs will get more touches throughout the game. Plus, Jared Goff, he doesn't play as well on the road. That's why I wasn't going to take the Lions here. He seems to struggle, but against the Chargers defense, their defensive line looked a little bit better. Last night, that was against the Jets, so I can't really do much about it, but I think, you can still attack the Chargers in the air, which is obviously what the Lions like to do, like to throw. They're pretty balanced, but I think there's gonna be a lot of opportunities. Both teams, play at a high rate of speed, pass the ball a lot. So I think there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for points. So I'll be taking the over here at 48.5.
Okay.
Like it.
We have I think it's the highest total. It's another week of low totals, and this brings me to my pick here. I'm going Saints Minnesota over 41. I just think it's a great week in general to bet overs. I think a lot of these games are going to end up going over the total. That's just my bold prediction this week. But I'm on the Saints Minnesota over 41. I like the over in that Minnesota Atlanta game last week, and this is going to be another matchup where both teams' strengths are against the run. So you're just going to see a lot more passing. Yes, the Saints pass defense, overall defense is better than the Vikings, but we just saw Josh Dobbs come in there weak with not knowing anything against the Falcons and coming back and winning that game. And they put up, I think, that game put up over 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
Akers is out for the year. It's not like he was like a big part of the game plan, but he was involved. They were giving Madison and him touches. Now he's out, so it's like Madison's not the answer. I think they're just gonna let Josh Dobbs like do his thing and throw the ball a lot. We know Derek Carr is gonna throw the ball a lot. That's just what he does. And this game is gonna go over 41 points.
It was so crazy to see the videos of Josh Dobbs literally running through like the 3 different cadences before he got in the game. Like he's like, I don't even know any of these people's names in the snap in the huddle right now. I'm just like, that was for next week to figure that out.
Good thing he's an aerospace engineer or whatever his
he's going to Mars.
Yeah.
Is.
I mean, it was one of the most impressive performances.
He can learn a playbook pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, so impressive what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have the Minnesota fans shotgunning cans of Campbell's Chunky Noodle Soup. I mean, they got some new life in Minnesota over there, so I'm expecting eyebrows out as well.
Haven't they won like 4 straight or something?
Hey, yeah. Remember when I said that they rattled off 5 straight and you laughed at me?
I mean, it's on the with Justin Jefferson out too. I mean, that's absolutely wild. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, heard that Hammy's a little bit worse than originally anticipated. He might be out till week 10.
Yeah, he'll be out till like week 11 or something. But all right, who's next?
I'll jump in here. I'm going Seahawks -6 at home for my second pick. I think this is a get right spot for Seattle coming off of the blowout loss to the Ravens. I mean, we see it pretty much weekly where a really solid team steps up in class to like an elite and plays an elite level team, Super Bowl contending team, and just can't keep up. I mean, we saw it with the Cowboys and Eagles. So I think that's what happened with Seattle here. I think Seattle's really solid. I just don't think they're quite at that elite level like the Ravens are. And so I think this is a get right spot. I think, Geno's hearing some of the naysayers again. He's not writing back again. He's hearing Corey chirping left and right all year. But yeah, Washington's defense has been the worst defense in the league over the last month of football. And I don't think that, I think Sam Howell's played pretty well for his rookie campaign, but I think stepping up to this Seattle defense is going to give him some trouble. They're going to be able to shut down some of those elite receivers he's got. And Seattle at home, obviously one of the biggest home field advantages in the NFL. I think they get it done here over a touchdown for sure. So Seattle -6.
Not bad. All right, Corey, I'll take the last pick here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't hate your picks.
You just little. Yeah.
I just don't want to fight on Geno Smith. I mean,
that's fair. It's also the Commanders' defense.
It is true.
Yeah. All right. I'm going back to the well with America's team here. Cowboys -16.5. Let's go back to week 1, and I'll remember that a fully healthy Giants team lost at home to the Cowboys 40-0. Okay. Now they're rolling out their practice squad and traveling to Dallas. That's all we really need to know. Okay. Dallas obviously was playing neck and neck with the Eagles last week. I think, they're a very good football team. They're not going to be sleeping on this bye week of a game. They need some wins, and they want to be able to take down that division. So that's all there is to it. I know it's a huge line, but the Giants also haven't scored more than 10 points since week 4. So yeah, I think Dak can put up 28 points and cover this line. No problem.
Big Pollard game incoming. We'll mark that down.
Like,
talk to you last big.
This offense is just so bad. Like, if you can only score 1 touchdown against the Commanders, like you're just not playing football the right way. I'm sorry, but it's over for the Giants. So
I'm with you, Nick. That's my lock of the week. You said it, 40-0 with a fully healthy squad with an entire offseason to prep for the Cowboys. Now they're rolling out Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito. And we saw him put up -9 yards in a half a couple of weeks back. And so I think Dallas is just ready to roll. We see it every year. Dallas always beats up on these really bad teams. It's what they do. They destroy bottom tier NFL teams year in and year out. And they can't make this spread big enough for me not to take it. So lock of the week, Dallas -16.5.
Do you think, well, for two things, do you think Saquon wish he was traded now? And do you think if the Cowboys lose this, potentially somehow lose this game, this is worse than losing to the Cardinals?
Yes.
Yes to both.
Yeah, this would be like the biggest upset of the year.
Because on top of the Saquon stuff, like I don't think he's fully healthy, and they're giving him the ball like 40 plus times a game, and he's just, he can't be happy at all. Like,
no,
you got your bag, whatever. Go get your bag, do your thing, but like that locker room has to be absolutely miserable week in and week out to be in.
Yeah, it's I understand the Giants have had probably the worst injuries out of any team this entire year. But I mean, I don't know how like Dable goes into the locker room and be like, all right, boys, let's go get him. They're like, dude,
yeah,
you see who are Danny DeVito's over here coming out playing football for us. Like, what the hell are we supposed to do?
I'm just waiting for them to post like QB tryouts. I think I could have a shot, you know.
I'm surprised they didn't sign Carson Wentz.
Nick, after that flag football performance, you don't have a shot.
Whoa. I was shredding Des Bryant out there, okay? Shout out Des. Just kidding.
I know Wentz is signed with the Rams, but like, why didn't they, like, if you're wanting to like try to be competitive, I mean, obviously they're done with Danny Dimes. Like, there's no way they keep him after this year. I mean, especially where they'll probably land in the draft. Like, how do you not move on and try to trade Danny Dimes for like a third, fourth?
Who's buying Danny Dimes?
That contract.
I know that contract's huge, but like
nobody's buying it.
They'll have to eat it somehow, or they'll have to do something, because I mean, if you end up with that 1 or 2 spot, I mean, maybe you trade back and get, if you think, I don't know. Well, we can get into that into the offseason, but right now I'm going into my lock of the week here. I'm also going to be riding Nick's coattails this week and taking the 49ers -3. Two things here. Like Nick mentioned, 49ers off a bye, something that you want. I know the Jaguars are coming off a bye as well. But I think the 49ers are overall a more complete team than the Jaguars are. I think that's, like Nick said, Jaguars have played well this entire year. San Francisco's gotten beat up the last 2 games. I think those were more fluke games than anything else. They're getting healthier. They just had Chase Young. I mean, that defensive line is a scary, scary defensive line. And it's not like the Jaguars have some spectacular offensive line. I think, like Nick said, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be under a lot of pressure. I think it'll probably be close. It'll probably be a close game up till halftime. And then after halftime, I think the 49ers get rolling. I think Christian McCaffrey has a huge day. And again, the issue with Brock Purdy is, when he gets into spots with him being only 12 games into his career, like he doesn't understand, like, you don't have to make a play on every single play. Like, just a punt is a good play. And if they get down too much early, then obviously he thinks we have to make up all these points in one drive, which obviously, you can't do. So I think he's still learning. He's still a very good quarterback in that system, and I think he thrives in it. And I think he shows again why, the 49ers are top team in the NFC. So give me the 49ers -3.5 or -3. Sorry.
All right. Well, I'm taking another over here. Like I said, I like a lot of the overs this week. Taking Tampa, Tennessee over 38. I was all over the Tampa, Houston over last week. And this total is like 2 points less than what that total was. And to me, it's like the same premise. Both these teams, well, Houston actually had a weak run defense. That's why Rachaad White had a pretty big game. But like both these run defenses on Tampa and Tennessee are very good. So we already know, and with Will Levis in there now, who's much more open to throwing the ball, and I think and throwing the ball deep. So both these teams' game plans once again is going to be very pass heavy. Baker and Tampa loves throwing the ball all game long. And now with Levis in here, I think they're going to be throwing the ball all game long. And so, I don't see how this game doesn't go over. This is my absolute lock of the week. I think this total is just going to keep going up until Sunday. So like get on this one early. Love this total. Think it could be another one of these sneaky shootouts. Obviously, like probably not the fireworks we saw with Houston Tampa, but I think it could be a pretty entertaining game.
Don't hate it.
Yep. I don't know. It could be like such an ugly game.
It very could be.
Good luck, BP.
No, it'll hit the over.
All right. My lock of the week. Just going to go back to the basics here and land on the hottest team in football across the nation, the Cincinnati Bengals. Huge win against the Bills last week. Obviously, Joe Burrow is back into form. I think Ja'Marr Chase, coming down with an injured back last week wasn't great, but they still beat the brakes off of the Bills without Ja'Marr Chase at his peak, which is maybe the most impressive part to me. So I'm going to take them -6 this week. Hot streak continues. They need to rack up a bunch of wins to make a playoff run in our red hot division. So Bengals -6, lock of the week.
All right. I feel like, maybe outside of Mahomes, Burrow's playing the best football in the league right now.
Yeah. You just got to play the hot hand sometimes. Play the cards on the table. That's what I'm doing here. Obviously, CJ Stroud, you could argue, had one of the best games for a rookie QB ever.
Yep.
No, the awesome. Best game ever.
Yep. Yeah. So that was awesome to see. But like asking him to do that in back-to-back weeks, which I think is what he would have to do to keep up with Burrow, is asking maybe too much of anyone. So,
yeah, I was tempted to take this Bengals line as well, but I just like these overs so much.
I like over in that game too.
Yeah, another thing where you could see both. But the one thing I didn't like is I think they're a little bit more run funnels, so that's why I didn't like the over as much. But Bengals are gonna get the job done. Like we'll get into DFS tomorrow. It is crazy that Stroud is more expensive than Joe Burrow. Like that's just nuts.
Yeah. Joe Burrow at home he's an animal.
So, all right, that'll do it for our week 10 bets. We'll be back for our DFS breakdown tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.